Hey everybody, this is Charlie, the Pennsylvania grain farmer, coming to you from kind of rainy and dreary western Pennsylvania. This is Friday, March the 23rd. No, I'm sorry, March the 24th, 2023. In keeping with the purpose of my channel, which is to document what I do here on the farm, we have to do the glamorous and the unglamorous jobs. Now, this past week, day before yesterday, which was Wednesday, and also Tuesday, I did some more moldboard plowing, and I had done a video on that a while back. But along with plowing comes maintenance of the plow. Of course, part of that every so many hours is greasing it and everything. But the other part of it is changing wear points. Now, at this point, I have 45 out of my 80 acres that I need to plow done. So that means I'm, closing in on 60% done. I had changed the wear parts on the plow last year, not when I was done, but not too far ahead of when I finished up. So there wasn't much wear on them. And so when I was getting the plow ready this year, I noticed that all those wear parts were good and that I could plow a while before I had to change anything. But, with the number of acres that I plowed, which was over half, and still more to go, I have a couple days here where we're getting rain that I'm definitely not going to be able to plow, so it is time to do a little maintenance. And as I looked at the wear parts on my plow, the shins look pretty good, but the points are worn down just about to the frame. And I also had noticed that they're not digging in and staying in the ground, especially hard ground, as well as I'd like them to. So it's time for these plow points or plowshares to be changed. Now, my plow is an International Harvester 720. It's a 4-bottom plow, and the bottoms are 18 inches. So this is an 18-inch plowshare or plow point, and that bolts to the plow, each one using 4 bolts. So I'm going to have to change 4 of these and the associated bolts. The bolts are these special plow bolts that are flat on 2 sides and rounded on the other 2, and they fit down into these holes so that they don't turn when you tighten them up. But there's one that is bigger in diameter than the others, and takes a bigger nut as well. And that's the one that goes here in the front. Okay, so I'm going to go get the plow ready, and then we'll go through the process. I'll show you the process of changing one of those points. So hang on for a second. I'll be right back. All right, so I think I'm ready to get started. I have my tools here that I think will be the extent of what I'm going to need. And I also have the Landslide wear plates here because I just, in looking at the bottoms on the plow again, I noticed that that those wear plates are kind of worn too, and I had already turned them once. So I'm just going to replace them while I'm at it. So I have my tools ready. I have some stuff here to lay on, and I had learned from Bandit Farmer that those old corn seed sacks seem to work pretty well for laying on what could be a wet surface like this. And for safety's sake, now I picked the plow up with the tractor with the white 2110, but you notice that I have a handyman jack there under the front and a handyman jack here at the rear, just in case the hydraulics would happen to let go a little bit and the the plow would start to drop down a little, so that should hold it in place. And just as an extra safety precaution, under two of the bottoms here, I also have a jack stand, so hopefully if anything does happen, that would give me plenty of time to get out. So I'm going to set the camera up here. Okay, so first we'll take off, starting over here on the end closest to me, take off these bolts on the plowshare. These back ones are 11/16, and the one in the front that I said is bigger is 3/4, so I had to change my socket. Okay, and that's that. So now we'll get the bolts here on the Landslide wear plate. I just threw a bunch of dirt in my face. Oh, by the way, while I'm here and thinking about it, I know many of you, and I'm glad you do, watch the videos of two of my friends, Chris Losey. Chris is that Oliver guy, and Ross Rikers, who is Ross the Oliver Man. Now, I've seen them in many of their videos touting their use of the handyman jack, but I guess I just want to throw a little challenge out their way, a little friendly challenge. You noticed earlier in this video, here on this one implement, I'm using not one, but two handyman jacks to get the job done on the same implement. And so let's see if either Ross or Chris can up the ante on that one. Have to use a wrench on that one. Can't quite get in there with the socket. And the nice thing is all these bolts had been out a year ago, roughly, whenever I did this. So that makes it a little bit easier to change. Okay. All right, so while I was gone there, I got my two pieces that I need, my plowshare, which I have back here, and also the Landslide wear plate, which is this. Now, I usually get my plow points and other wear parts from Shoop, and the nice thing about them is that when you buy whether it's the shins or the Landslides or the points, they usually give you packets that have all the right hardware, all the right bolts and nuts that go with it. So I got them out as well, so I'm ready to put these items back on. So I guess I'll throw the plow point on first. Really doesn't matter. Okay, and I'll kind of support that while I get the nuts on, or else the whole thing's gonna fall off on me. There we go. That one didn't want to start. Okay, so I got all the bolts back on the point there, and now we'll get this Landslide wear plate. There's that in there too. And these bolts are two very different lengths because the front hole has a bigger frame in the back to go through than the back hole does. The back hole just has to go through the Landslide itself, where this one has almost a 1/2 inch piece of steel behind it back here, so it gets a longer bolt. So put that on here and we'll be ready to go. All right, now we just have to tighten everything up. Helps if you go the right way. I really like these ratchet wrenches. They sure are convenient. Okay. All right. And now we'll get these. And then the bigger 3/4 one here in the front. All right. You know, that front one didn't seat well. I'm going to loosen it again and do that one over. Take a look at that again. And yeah, that's better this time. Okay, good. All right, and now what I'm going to do, because I've had these bolts on the plow points come off before, is I'm going to use my biggest ratchet and make sure that they're plenty tight. Okay. All right, and there it is. So now the only thing that I'll have to change at a later date will be these shins, which is this thing right here, but I have almost ½ an inch of wear left there yet, so it's not worth, for the price of them, it's not worth changing them yet. So that's going to do it for this video. There's no sense in me filming the rest of this because it's just going to be exactly the same thing 3 more times. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I hope you'll consider subscribing. If you have subscribed, I thank you for that very much. I hope you'll hit the like button and please leave me a comment or ask a question. But for now, this is Charlie, the Pennsylvania grain farmer, saying, see you next time.